Once upon a time in the vibrant, bustling village of Uzoma community, somewhere in the heart of Nigeria, the giant of Africa, live a very beautiful girl named Amaka, the bright star Amaka, a radiant young woman with dreams as vast as the African sky. Her beauty captivates all who behold her, but beneath her dazzling facade lies a heart burdened by the struggles of poverty. This is how the story begins. The sun beats down on the vibrant marketplace of Uzoma. Vendors call out their wares, and villagers bustle about, exchanging goods and gossip. Amidst the chaos, Amaka, with her radiant presence, navigates the crowd, a basket of fruit balanced gracefully on her hand. Amaka, smiling warmly at passers-by. "Good morning, Mama Adaku. How is your grandson?" Amaka asked. Amaka, my dear. He's growing like a weed," Mama Adaku replied, smiling. "Thanks to your juicy oranges." Amaka chuckles and continues on her way, weaving through the maze of stalls. Suddenly, she stops in her tracks, her eyes widening in shock as she spots her father. He slumped against a wooden crate. "Papa, what happened? Are you all right?" Amaka asked her father. "Amaka, it's nothing, just a touch of fever," Amaka father said weakly. "We must get you home and tend to you properly. Come, lean on me." Together, they slowly make their way through the bustling marketplace, Amaka supporting her father with gentle determination. Later that evening, in the modest confines of their home, Amaka sits by her father's bedside, worry etched deep into her features. Outside, the moon casts a soft glow over the village, but inside, the atmosphere is heavy with the weight of their troubles. "Amaka, my dear, I fear I can no longer provide for our family as I once did. The crops have failed us, and my strength wanes with each passing day," Amaka father said weakly. "Papa, you have nothing to fear. I will find a way to take care of us all." "But how, my child? We have barely enough to feed ourselves, let alone pay for my medicines," Amaka father said with a shaky voice. Amaka's heart clenches with determination as she gazes out the window, her mind racing with desperate thoughts. "There is one way, Papa. A way that I never thought I would consider. But if it means saving our family from destitution." "What are you saying, Amaka?" her father asked worriedly. Amaka takes a deep breath, steeling herself for the weight of her words. "I will go and seek employment." "But, child, what kind of employment could you possibly find in this village?" "I will do whatever it takes, Papa, even if it means selling my beauty to the highest bidder." As Amaka ventures into the business of prostitution, her beauty became both a blessing and a curse when circumstances forced her into a life of prostitution to support her impoverished family. At first, Amaka's newfound profession brings her prosperity and admiration. She revels in the attention and luxury her clients provide, believing she has found a path to security and stability as her clients always reward her with huge amount of cash and beautiful gifts. She bought a beautiful house for herself and another one for her family. Amaka started to cater and pay the bills of her family members and took her father to a good hospital. Every month she always carried bag of rice and other items to her father's house. Shadows in the night. Rumors of Amaka's secret life begin to spread like wildfire through the village. Whispers follow her wherever she goes, casting a shadow over her once bright reputation. Friends turn their backs, and family members avert their gazes, unable to reconcile the image of the beloved daughter they once knew with the woman they now see. Alone and adrift, Amaka seeks solace in the arms of her clients, hoping to numb the pain of rejection. Amaka's father became angry and disappointed in Amaka's new lifestyle and choice of business. As a result, his health worsened and he died. Amaka's world comes crashing down around her when she receives news of her father's passing. Consumed by grief and guilt, she realizes the true cost of her choices and the toll they have taken on her family. With her heart heavy and her spirit broken, she hits rock bottom, drowning her sorrows in a haze of alcohol. All her family and friends abandoned her. No one wants to associate themselves with Amaka, including her younger ones, because they believe she is a prostitute. Whenever Amaka goes out on the street, everyone stares at her and call her names. As a result of this, Amaka always stay at home and feel miserable and lonely despite all she have achieved. All the money and gifts Amaka received from her clients now seems like waste. As days turned into weeks into months, Amaka became a shade of herself as the people of Uzoma community hated her, except an old widow who believed that aside Amaka's choice of business, she was still a good person. She believed and encouraged Amaka and told her not to give up on life. Through her guidance and support, Amaka embarked on a journey of self-discovery and redemption, seeking forgiveness for her past mistakes, striving to rebuild her shattered life. Amaka started to work on herself. She quitted prostitution and went to learn tailoring and bead making. She dedicated all hearts towards her handwork and became very good in it. Amaka became the best in Uzoma, and she opens her own tailor and bead store in the market of Uzoma. Amaka made a lot of money and became very popular again, this time not for prostitution but for her handwork and her ability to make very good designs of clothes. Amaka bought herself a new house and she was happy again. But the people of Uzoma community still hated her, as they believe no man is going to marry Amaka because of her past life and she will die lonely and miserable. They always look for opportunities to insult Amaka whenever they come across her. Even the young men in the village were not left out, as they all vowed they can never marry Amaka because of her past, that Amaka must die single. Amaka knew of their hatred but never cared about them. Instead, she focused on her work. One day, a poor dirty stranger named Ike came to Uzoma village. He looked so unkempt and dirty. He tried to look for shelter in their houses, but all the villagers chased him away. Ike became confused and miserable until he met Amaka. He explained all that he went through in his former village to her, and how he lost all that he had to fire. Amaka took pity on him and gave him shelter. Ike and Amaka became very close. Amaka took Ike to her store and started to teach him how to make clothes. She even gave Ike some money too. The people of Uzoma starts to gossip Amaka and Ike. They laugh at them. They called Amaka prostitute and Ike they called poverty. One day the elders gathered and receive a news from Aluka village that governs all the 25 neighboring villages including Uzoma, that their young prince Ike, who is the heir to the throne of Aluka kingdom, the head of all the villages including Uzoma and the richest kingdom, will be coming to Uzoma to search for his bride for his coronation as the youngest king in history. The village elders told all the maidens and they begin to prepare for the coming prince. On the day of the prince's arrival, the villagers gathered and the prince came riding his royal horse. He came down to pick a bride and lo and behold he walked straight to Amaka and picked Amaka the prostitute as his bride and the whole villagers were surprised. They whispered to the prince that Amaka was a prostitute. Amaka began to wonder while the prince picked her as his bride. He looked at him closely and saw that the prince was Ike, the stranger she accommodated in her house. She was confused, but remember that Ike told her he will be going to his village to see his sick mother. "Attention all of you," Prince Ike shouted. "I am Ike the stranger you all mistreated. I came to you all but you chased me away. Only this woman you all hated and called prostitute helped me. She gave me shelter, food, and money, and for that I will make her my queen." The villagers kept quiet and they were all ashamed of themselves for not helping the stranger when he came to them for help. If only they knew who he was. If only they knew he was Prince Ike, the heir to the kingdom of Aluka village, the village that governs all the 25 villages, the village that flows with milk and honey, the village with vast wealth and opportunities. Oh, if only they knew. They all fell to their knees and started crying and begging the prince for forgiveness. The prince took Amaka to his kingdom. They drove in his royal horse. They got married in a very big celebration. The marriage was the talk of all the villages. It was a colorful celebration, with plenty of food and drinks, and their marriage reminds all the people of Uzuoma community to love and treat people with love and care, never to judge people based on just what they see or heard, rather by their heart and good deed. They all asked the Queen Amaka for forgiveness, and the king and the queen live happily ever after. They lived together as man and wife. Together they ruled all the 25 villages, with love, wisdom, and knowledge. Their story was told from generation to generation, even till this day, and they lived happily ever after. Now people, whatever it is you are passing through in life, friends and family might have deserted you, but remember that God loves you. God will never leave you. Stay safe and be blessed. Thanks for watching African Folktales by Smplyblessingfloktales. Please remember to like, share, follow and subscribe.